The TUF A14 is one of my favorite bang-for-buck gaming laptops. I called it the budget ROG Zephyrus G14, and I meant it as a compliment. It comes in a compact 14-inch chassis, it's got solid build quality, and the performance, it just punches above its price. Asus basically took the G14, stripped out all the premium features that most people don't actually need, and gave us the essentials like a power-efficient and powerful Ryzen AI 9 HX370 paired to an RTX 4060 for around $1,400. Unfortunately, that spec is really hard to find these days. It's pretty much out of stock everywhere that I looked. And earlier this year at CES, Asus announced that the TUF A14 is getting Strix Halo. And if you know what that platform is, you would understand why that got us excited. Strix Halo is AMD's most ambitious mobile chip in years, and it's not really common to find it among gaming laptops. Its main platform highlights include a unified memory design and a desktop-class iGPU in a single SoC. And Asus was putting it in the TUF. And here we are, 5 months later. This laptop is finally hitting store shelves, and Asus is asking $2,200 for it. Yeah, you heard that right. $2,200 US for a TUF. Now, I get that Windows laptop prices have skyrocketed through the roof recently, but the TUF line exists for one reason, and that is to make it attainable for the end users. When you're pricing TUF laptops at ROG Zephyrus money, something has gone wrong. You see, for context, last year's TUF A14 was $1,400 versus $2,200 with this year's model. That's more than 50%, guys, in the same chassis with just a new chip. And here's where it gets really weird. You see, you would assume at $2,200, Asus would put in the top of the line Ryzen AI Max plus 395 with 16 cores, 32 threads, along with the Radeon 8060S GPU with 40 compute units. No, you don't even get that. Instead, you get a cut down 12-core CPU while the GPU remains the same. So on the graphics side, you're not compromising on that front. But guys, like, I don't know why this price tag is really bothering me right now. I mean, Asus should have at least put a better chip for it and also give us at least better hardware improvements like an OLED display, because this thing still comes with the same 165Hz IPS display that covers 77% DCI-P3, has a peak SDR brightness output of 443 nits. It's not terrible, it's still a pretty good panel, but again, I mean, at this price, I was expecting better. And again, from a build quality and design standpoint, it's a copy and paste situation over here. I mean, this laptop, I like the overall compactness of it. The keyboard and trackpad, that is notably one of my favorite parts about this laptop. It's just a great combination. There's no RGB nonsense. It's a function over form type of thing, and I love that about this thing. In terms of upgradability, you're only limited to 2 M.2 SSDs, and the primary SSD is actually, surprisingly, a lot faster than the previous gen, and that's thanks to the switch to Gen 5.
Now, let's just say that something happens to your TUF A14 one day, like the trackpad stops working or the screen won't turn on, and the original warranty has expired. Now, normally you'd be paying out of your own pocket for repairs and just figuring it out by yourself. But if you bought your device from Walmart Canada, eligible laptops, desktops, and TVs come with an included additional year of coverage after the manufacturer's warranty ends, along with 2 years of 24/7 tech support. That means you have support if something goes wrong, so when you're buying an expensive device like the TUF, you have an added peace of mind knowing that you're supported if any issues come up.
Okay, so let's cut to what actually matters for most of you that are watching this video, performance. Now, I'm gonna be comparing this to last year's TUF A14 with the Ryzen AI 9 HX370 with the 4060, as well as a few other 14-inch gaming laptops that are popular, including the Acer Helios Neo 14 AI with Intel's Ultra 9 285H with a 5060. We also have the Razer Blade 14 with the AI 9 365 and a 5070, the ROG Zephyrus G14 with the AI 9 HX370 paired to an RTX 5070 Ti, and a few other laptops with Strix Halo, like the HP ZBook Ultra G1A with the top-of-the-line AI Max Plus Pro 395, and we also have the Asus ProArt PX13 with the AI Max Plus 388. Now, on the multi-core front, I'll be honest, it is a meaningful step up compared to the previous generation. Glancing over our Cinebench runs, the new TUF is about 21% faster than the previous generation. However, if you switch to single-core performance, it's basically identical, and in some tests, the newer model's marginally behind the previous generation, so you won't really feel a difference. Now, some of our real-world tests convey the same story. In apps like Blender and Houdini, The AI Max Plus 392 in the new TUF is around 11 to 16% faster than the HX370. But if you pay close attention to these charts, you'll notice something really interesting. Both these chips carry the same thread count. However, ASUS has somehow managed to pump more power this time around. We're talking close to 100 watts on the newer model versus 80 watts on the previous gen. And that certainly plays a huge factor here. Now, with GPU accelerated apps, they were a mixed bag. Blender favored the RTX 4060, but that's obvious considering how fast CUDA is compared to AMD. But that story flips in Handbrake, where the new TUF is a few seconds ahead of the previous gen. Now, in creator-focused apps, Lightroom exports is roughly 47% faster, Photoshop scores jump about 45%, and in Adobe Premiere Pro, the 2026 TUF is a whopping 7 minutes faster than the previous gen TUF with the 4060. That is a pretty big win for the iGPU guys. But then if you switch to DaVinci Resolve, it's 10% slower than last year's model, so I'm pretty sure this app isn't fully optimized for this platform. That being said, if you're strictly on the Adobe ecosystem, the performance benefits over the previous gen, especially with Strix Halo, is really, really, really good. What about gaming? Well, this is where the iGPU conversation gets real. You see, across 10 titles that we tested at 1200p and 1440p, the 2026 TUF A14 with the 8060S trails behind last year's model with the RTX 4060 in the majority of games. Now, it's not by catastrophic margin, but if you look at Counter-Strike 2, it's down by maybe 20%. Indiana Jones, same thing. Hogwarts Legacy, it's down by about 17%, and Warhammer is around 16%. Cyberpunk and Baldur's Gate both are around 11% behind the previous generation. And guys, remember, the RTX 4060 is a 3-year-old GPU, and it's still holding strong against Strix Halo. Now, there are a couple of wins here. If you look at Alan Wake 2, it actually goes the other way around. The 8060S edges out the RTX 4060 by about 10%. Doom, Starfield, and Rainbow Six are super close. But overall, I feel like the message is pretty clear. If you bought the 2025 TUF A14 for gaming, the new TUF doesn't really represent an upgrade. Now, it is worth stepping back and acknowledging what AMD's actually trying to do here. The whole premise of Strix Halo was to bring discrete level graphics into an integrated solution. And after seeing these results, I honestly feel like that ambition isn't empty. I'm actually genuinely hopeful where the next generation takes us, but right now, in 2026, the RTX 4060 and last year's TUF A14 is just a better gaming GPU. I just can't wrap my head around the fact that ASUS is asking $800 more to get less. Now, when it comes to battery life, it gets a bit more interesting. For light web browsing, the new TUF with Strix Halo lasts about 15 hours. That's over an hour ahead of last year's TUF A14. But when we switch to our 4K YouTube playback test, it dropped to 8 hours. That's an hour behind the older TUF A14 with the HX370. And I think the reason for that is pretty straightforward. Strix Halo uses the high-performance 16 Zen 5 C cores, and it's not a mix of Zen 5 and the power-efficient Zen 5 C cores found in the HX370. That's the Strix Point architecture. And that also translates into gaming as well. I mean, we only got a little over an hour in our test. So where does that leave us with the new TUF A14? Well, I have to say it's a pretty capable machine. The multi-core performance is strong, and the battery life improvements in light load scenarios is pretty good. It's a nice improvement. But at $2,200, I just want to bring that up. It's just a tough pill to swallow. I think ASUS also made the wrong chip choice because the Ryzen AI Max Plus 388 exists. I mean, sure, you will probably take a slight hit on the multi-core performance front compared to the 392 and most definitely the 382 because of its 8-core thread count, but you still get the exact same fully fledged 8060S GPU with 40 CUs. And with the 388, ASUS could have priced this laptop that actually makes more sense for the end user. Or the other way I see it is that they shouldn't even considered putting the Strix Halo chip in the TUF A14 in the first place. If anything, they could have taken that chip and just dropped it into the ROG Zephyrus G14 and priced it around $2,200 because I feel like that would have made a lot more sense because you're getting a premium experience with better build quality, a better display, and yeah, I feel like that would have made a lot more sense. But I want to hear your thoughts on Strix Halo. Do you think it still has a place in today's laptop market? And after seeing those results, is the price justifiable? Comment down below. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Iber with Hardware Canucks, and I will talk to you guys in the next one.